Hey guys, it's Kayla.
And I'm Mark Alan.
And this is our channel. Here we talk about all things Disney as well as how to plan your Walt Disney World vacation. And today we are talking all about Disney gift cards, how to use them, and some really cool tips and tricks when it comes to using Disney gift cards.
So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.
So of course Disney World accepts all different kinds of payment, your card or cash or magic band or however, but one of our favorite forms of payment to use is Disney gift cards. Not only can you use these at the parks, but you can also use them online, but we're going to give you some kind of tips, tricks, and best practices when it comes to using Disney gift cards.
So if you guys have been subscribed to our videos for a while, you probably know that we are huge Dave Ramsey followers and we love to budget, we love to stay on budget and save money any way that we can. And one of the ways that we actually like to do that, especially for our Disney trips, is actually through Disney gift cards.
If you are familiar with Dave Ramsey's teachings, you've probably heard of something called the envelope system, where basically you have different envelopes divided up for different categories of spending, and you fill each of those envelopes with the allotted amount of cash that you have budgeted. Similar to that, Disney gift cards are a really great way to do that for your Disney trips. So you can kind of figure out before you go how much money you're going to need for certain things, and you can basically use those Disney gift cards to keep yourself on track, and you can label them different categories so that you kind of know, and that way you're not just mindlessly spending money. You have a tangible form of payment that you're able to keep track of with every transaction.
And because of all of that, it's a great way to help you stay on budget. For example, once that specific gift card for, say, souvenirs runs out, you're done. And once it's out, it's out. You can, spend cash or something like that, but it really kind of makes you stop and think of, do we really want to spend this extra money?
This is also really a great tool if you have kiddos to keep them on track. Maybe you have a certain amount that you are allowing them to spend on souvenirs, or maybe they have saved up a certain amount to spend on souvenirs themselves. If you have it on this gift card, it keeps all the money in one place, so it's easy to keep track of, but it also is a great tool to help your little ones learn how to budget and not go crazy, because they'll have to think about their purchases and, do I really want this Mickey plush? Do I really want this pair of ears?
And right along with that, one of the easiest places to go over budget on are all of the Epcot festivals. Those food booths can be really tempting, and you guys, some of those items are actually pretty expensive depending on what you get, especially if you're getting alcohol to go along with those dishes. So what we have done in the past and what we really like to do is put money on a gift card, and then once that gift card is out, kind of like, the envelope system, just keeping that same system going, you can carry that right along over to the festivals. So once that gift card is out, you're out, and then you're done eating.
And it's one of those things too, because you have to be really careful, because there are some expensive items at those booths, but there are a lot of really cheap items too. And so it's very easy to just be like, oh, well, that's $3. Oh, well, that's $5. And you keep doing that and you keep doing that. And then the next thing you know, you've spent several $100s on food because you weren't thinking about it because the amounts were so little. And so it is a really good idea to have that set amount that you want to spend ahead of time to keep yourself on point. One of our absolute favorite tips when it comes to using Disney gift cards, and a lot of people know this already, but if you don't, you really need to be taking advantage of this, and that is the Target Red Card hack. Now, before you say anything, you're probably wondering, I thought you guys don't use credit cards. You're right, we don't. Our Target Red Card is actually associated with our debit card, so that money does come directly out of our bank account, so we're not doing anything on credit. But what this hack does is you actually can get 5% off on all your gift card purchases. And so that may not sound like a lot, but if you pay for a majority of your trip, which can be a couple $1,000 or more, really, you can save quite a bit of money. I know we've saved several $100s by doing this on multiple occasions for multiple trips. And you can kind of utilize that saved money in two different ways. Either A, you can really save that money for personal, like paying off debt or paying on bills or whatever. You can save that money for those type of life items. Or if you want, you can use that almost bonus money as bonus money for your trip. Maybe that's an extra, maybe that's like a tour or an extra nice dinner, things like that. So this tip is honestly one of our favorites, and if you don't utilize this, you for sure should.
Now, don't worry if you don't have a Target Red Card. This can also apply to Costco and Sam's. Both of those stores do also sell discounted Disney gift cards. It may or may not be that 5% mark, but still, it's a great way to buy gift cards and pay for your trips with some sort of discount. Now, right along with that, we have paid for every single one of our Disney trips by using this hack. And we've learned a lot of what to do and what not to do by paying for all of our trips with Disney gift cards. So we're going to be sharing a lot of those tips later on of what not to do, because we have had to cancel trips and pay for lots of trips, and we have a lot of tips.
We've got a good system going.
Yes.
Now, once you have all your Disney gift cards, you're probably going to have like a bajillion of them, because they don't really have super high dollar denominations unless you're getting them online. So what we like to do is go to disneygiftcard.com and actually combine all of our gift cards. Now, you can only have up to $1,000 per gift card, so you will be a little limited on that. But what you need to do is on each one of those gift cards, you need to write, you need to label them. You need to give them a name so that you know which one is which, and you need to keep those gift cards.
Yes.
Keep the physical cards.
So just like what Kayla was saying, is keep extra gift cards. Obviously, once they've transferred over and you've confirmed that on disneygiftcards.com, it is fine to throw away probably some of those cards, but definitely keep some extra ones just in case. Because say, for example, if something happens to that card number, or if you happen to need a refund or something like that, and you don't have that card number, it's always a good rule of thumb to keep them. And honestly, if you want to keep them all after you've combined them, that's perfectly fine too. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Because basically what has happened to us before is that we've paid with a gift card, but then we threw that gift card away, and then we had to get a refund, but we didn't have that gift card number anymore, but we had a gift card number of a different one, and so Disney was able to transfer it to that new gift card instead of the original one. Because if they had done it to the original one, we would have lost that money because we didn't have that number to be able to pay for anything in the future. But basically, keep the ones that have the money, but also keep a few extras that are empty just in case.
So you might be wondering, okay, now that you've had them all combined, and obviously, say for example, if you're taking a very bougie trip and it's several $1,000s, you're gonna have probably a few different gift cards. So what we usually like to do is, and this is actually wrong, so don't do what I'm about to say, is that we paid for everything with one gift card. So we would label this within disneygiftcard.com, and we would call it summer trip or something like that. And then we would write on the back summer trip or something like that. So that way we could easily match it. Now, what we would do is we would put $1,000 on this one card, and then we would make a payment on our resort or something like that with this card.
And then we would reload this card with the next $1,000 and then pay again.
And then reload this card.
And we would keep doing that. Now, in theory, that may not sound like a big deal. And really it wasn't when we were able to go on the trips. However, if for some reason you need to cancel the trip, they technically can only put the money back on the original form of payment. And since they can only put $1,000 on that gift card, it gets very complicated for Disney to be able to get the rest of your money back to you, and it can take a lot longer. I know for us it took several weeks to get our money back, because we had to give them new card numbers and make all this, and like for a while, like there was like some of it that was just missing, and we were like, hey, we still are waiting on this other several $100s, and it was a huge hot mess.
Yeah.
So this is what you should do. You should spend the $1,000, and then that card is done. Do not throw it away.
Yes.
But do not put any more money on that card. You need to label it and set it aside. What we also like to do is we have an Excel sheet, and so every time that we make a payment on our trip, we will say paid X amount of dollars on, and then we put like the digits of whatever card it is, so that we know that that was the card that we used for that. So that way it makes it a lot easier whenever they are refunding, that you know exactly what card went on what.
So right along with that, so say for example, if your resort is $3,000, so you're gonna have 3 different cards with $1,000 each. So kind of like what Kayla said, is that you pay $1,000 on this card, and then you don't use that card, you don't reload it, you don't do anything to it. That just goes back in your file cabinet or whatever, and you basically don't touch it unless of course you have to cancel that trip and you need a refund. Then you make another payment on card number 2, and then same thing. Once that's gone, don't reload it, don't do anything, don't make another payment on this card. And then same thing.
And then continue on for however many gift cards that you need.
And the reason for that is you don't want to make any more payments on that card, because like what Kayla was saying earlier, is that if you do have to cancel, they issue it back on the same form of payment. So it all comes back to, at the end of the day, that $1,000 cap. So if you make 2 payments on one gift card, it's going to max out if you have to cancel, and then it gets really sticky very quickly.
It was a nightmare, let me tell you. We've learned our lesson now. All right, so we know that was a lot of information. So we'll kind of just recap all of that one more time. Biggest tip, make sure you use those discounted gift card hacks. That'll definitely save you some money for sure.
Number 2, you treat it like an envelope system. So you can easily name them within DisneyGiftCards.com, and then write on the back of them, Summer 1, Summer 2, souvenirs, etc.
And number 3, don't spend more than $1,000 on one gift card. Trust me, this will save you the headache later. All right, and that's pretty much it. Those are some of our favorite tips and tricks on how to best use Disney gift cards for your Disney vacations. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you have not already. We have lots of great Disney planning tips, and we have a lot more for sure coming out in the future. Comment down below, are there any tips and tricks that you may have about Disney gift cards that we didn't mention today? We always love to learn new things, and we always love to share with all of our friends. So that is all we have for you guys today.
Now go create your ever after.